Hello, my beautiful people. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Thank you for being here. Just so y'all know, personal readings are available at the description in the bio. All other resources are there. And let's get started. So, I'm feeling a very empowered energy today. I feel like maybe some of you have been feeling energetically drained, or there's just been like an up and down in the energy field lately. We are in eclipse season officially. So this is very normal, very expected. So you may be sort of oscillating again between feeling really drained, feeling really foggy. I feel like there's definitely a very foggy, misty energy, especially with Pisces. I was driving home last night and there was just suddenly a ton of fog. Maybe some like third eye, like feeling of not being able to see clearly, like brain fog. That's what I'm getting to. But then kind of also integrating like power and strength and massive clarity. So it's almost like the two sides of the polarity. And Pisces is about duality as well. We're having this eclipse in Pisces first on the 7th. So that being said, let's get into the oracles. Let's find out what wants to come through for you today. I'm just going to kind of open, keep it general. Nothing on my mind too much. That's the general vibes to start. Let's start with the Citadel. As per usual, I love the Citadel very much. Spirit, help us to see clearly. Help us to see clearly. Help this collective spirit to see something more clearly. Ask that the right message comes through right now at this exact right time, that whoever is viewing this will be able to gain something from it, whether they watch this whole message or not. Thank you, Spirit. Show us the way. Show us the way forward. Show us the way. The forgotten, missed opportunities, and fear of failure in reverse. This is such an interesting card. I want to take this too. The vengeance reversed, overcoming slights and a choice. Y'all, it's so interesting. I put the phone the opposite way too. I never put my phone camera in the direction I have it. Like usually it's the opposite way. So something being mirrored, something that you're not usually, a perspective you don't normally look at. The painter reversed, productivity and creation. So all these cards are in reverse. I've been hearing a ton of blue jays as well, like constant blue jays, like just in battles outside. Blue jays are about like truth, right? Someone's stomping above me as well. Like intense truth, intense like walking right into something, truth being brought to light. Like blue jays are very aggressive. They attack head on deceits, things that are not true. So this doesn't have to be deceit in your outer field. This could be inner deceit as well. Things you're deceiving yourself about, things that you're not seeing clearly about yourself. This goes hand in hand with this illusions being brought to light from the Pisces depths. Neptunian energy, like dreams, illusions, delusions even, needing to be reckoned with. The forgotten reversed and the vengeance reversed. Missed opportunities, fear of failure, overcoming slights, a choice. Okay, this is gonna go in opposite. Opposite, yeah, see, the Spirit wants me to talk about that opposite thing again, like the phone being the opposite way it normally is. Things being like the hanged man I'm seeing in my mind's eye now too. Things just kind of being flipped upside down, like seeing things from the opposite perspective, seeing things in an opposite light, the world being flipped, being mirrored. These cards all being in reverse. It's like, I feel like Spirit might be wanting you to see these in the upright. Like maybe you are seeing these reversed in your life right now, but really they're upright. So, okay, Spirit, how is I want some tarot to clarify this. The Fountain Tarot, how is the collective seeing this energy that's in front of me? Because like I was gonna say, I feel like I'm seeing many different messages for different people in this. Like I could see these cards going many different ways, and maybe that's part of the issue. Okay, Five of Cups. Three of Cups reverse. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, these cards feel like they're going many different ways for many different people. Maybe that's part of the issue, is like not being able to see clearly. Something needing to be brought to light to be seen clearly, or some kind of, I'm seeing just like an overlay. It's sort of like a house of mirrors, like an illusion being cast over something, and you're just not seeing it, that third eye, right? Like, it's even tricky for me to read into this right now. Like, it's hard for me to see. I usually use my third eye a lot when I'm reading to see things that are coming through, but right now it's almost like I can't see. It's sort of just like a fog. It's sort of like I just want to like go to sleep. It's sort of like I just want to like lay down and just avoid everything. But yeah, Five of Cups came through. I was asking, like, how are you seeing this right now? And the Five of Cups is all about loss. It's grief. It's emotional murkiness. It's a feeling of lack emotionally in the heart. Yeah, it's like a feeling, and with this forgotten reverse, missed opportunities, fear of failure, the vengeance. Oh, like, I feel like whoever's listening here, you've been through a lot in your life. Like, you have been through moments in your life where you've felt very forgotten. You felt very left out in the cold. You have felt forgotten dreams as well, like loss of maybe dreams or ways of being, ways of living that used to feel happy and bright and jubilant and joyful and childlike, that you've just forgotten, or that's for some reason were forced out of your life. And maybe you feel really bitter over this, really vengeful about this. Like maybe somebody or an energy really did you dirty, or maybe you perceived them to really do you dirty, or you perceived life itself to do you dirty. You know, God, the universe, source did you dirty, and you were like, why did you do this to me? Why did this happen to me? Why me? Kind of vibe. And I feel like because of it, it's sort of like you, the painter, the underlying energy here, you crafting and painting and flowing in your essence. Three of Cups reverse as the underlying energy as well. Like, you feeling one with life and feeling like there's community and there's resource and there's emotional fulfillment. It's like you've put it on the shelf, or there are creative dreams, or there are just visions, or there's like this just nectar, this sweetness, this abundance that you feel is now missing, that you feel is not for you for some reason. You feel you've lost out on. Like this dude or this little person here floating kind of just in the void. Like, I feel like that's what you feel like, or have felt like maybe for a long time, or maybe that's what's coming up here. For some of you, you've felt like this for a very long time. I'm also feeling in my lower back right now. Like, in my lower back, I feel sort of like almost I wanted to say like kidney pain, but kidneys are higher up in your back. Just in my lower back, I feel this like energy that just feels really like stagnant and like almost achy. So that's like your sacral chakra. That is your creative center. That is your joy, your sensuality, your creativity, your healthy sexuality, like your flow, your movement in life. And I really feel a lot of you feel very like blocked here, or there's like a lot of heavy, like I said, emotional loss, emotional labor even, that you feel you've had to do, or this feeling of, I feel a confirmation burp coming on, like this feeling of just what you're wanting in life never coming to you, feeling like you don't get to have a good life is what I'm getting here. which is like it's a super heavy energy. I know this feeling, and I relate to you, and I hold space for it. But the reason I think my own energy right now channeling this doesn't feel heavy, and I think the reason for that is because right now in this moment, Spirit is saying, like, you need to really see this from an opposite angle. See, like, the upright here. Because this is all, like, internal. This is all feels very subconscious. It feels like it might have been leading your life for a long time. And that this is what's coming up under this eclipse cycle to be seen and purged and reckoned with and released is like, you know, we can go through these difficult battles and moments in life. We can go through these losses. We can go through feeling bitter and forgotten. And we can feel all types of ways about life. That's human. That's normal. But so many of us, rather than being able to process that in the moment and let it go, we hold on to it and we replay it over and over and over again, even when it's not actually happening to us anymore. I saw somebody, I don't remember where I read it. Oh, I think it was The Four Agreements. The Four Agreements, great book. I started it. I haven't gotten very far into it, but there's mention of how, you know, animals, for example, mammals and animals in the animal kingdom, if they do something wrong or they do something that's painful or they do something that hurts, they only feel that once when it happens, and then they move on. They shake it off, they move on, they continue their lives. But the human condition is that we do something that feels wrong. We do something that feels like, or something happens to us where we lose something, or just some kind of something happens to us that causes an emotional reaction. And we hold on to it and we replay it over and over. The main suffering does not come from what actually happened in the moment. It comes from the drama of the interplay of the emotions and the stories we tell ourselves for such a long time afterward that gets stuck in us, that we don't process, that we hold on to. It's part of having a mind. It's part of what makes us creative as humans too. Our ability to hold these things in our mind, hold space for them, and be able to create with them. So, yeah, this is really coming up right now for you. Is like, I feel like Spirit, the reality check of the Pisces lunar eclipse may be coming through for some of you, is like this story, these emotions, this feeling that you're feeling of drifting through life, or just feeling like you're not who you're supposed to be, is the illusion. Like, that is the illusion, and Spirit really wants you to get back on track with like who you really are and what you're really here to do. These feelings were there and are there for a reason, but Spirit never intended for you to hold on to them for a lifetime, and never intended for you to hold on to them for this long, is what I'm hearing as well. Like, because I feel that for some of you, these feelings have become like an identity almost. It's almost like your ego has taken what really did genuinely happen to you and the things you really genuinely went through, and has made like a new persona out of them in a lot of ways, rather than using them to become stronger and to have more just experience and nuance under your belt, right? Because that's why these things happened. That's why the situations that have happened in your life have happened. They have never been to knock you down or to make you feel like life is unfair, or to make you feel like this is just your lot. They were there for you to learn something about yourself, and they were there to strengthen you, and they were there to help you to integrate your shadow as well, is what I'm hearing. Helping you to really have more autonomy and have more conscious power over your life, more conscious control. And that lesson is still there for you to learn. Spirit's just saying, like, you know, you can do it the easy way or the hard way, is what I just heard. Sounds harsh, but the easy way would be to start seeing this about yourself, to know like you should never punish yourself for your emotions. You should never punish yourself for feeling any type of way. You should never punish yourself for anything in life, really. But also to have enough self-love and enough self-respect and enough self-determination is what I just heard too, to know like this is not serving you any longer, to be holding on to all of this. Even if it is subconscious, it's not serving you any longer. And Spirit's saying it really is up to you to decide now, okay, let's really take a look at this and let's really start changing this narrative and really start looking at how can I love myself? How can I take care of myself here so that I can be a better version of myself that's actually living a life that I want to live? Definitely. Okay, let's get into this. Let's get further into this, Spirit, to see. I'm feeling a lot of activity in my guts right now, like a lot of movement. So definitely like that sacral chakra, like there might be just a lot of wounding and belief about you not being allowed to have what you want in life, or feeling like this is just your lot in life, which is just so not true, is what I'm hearing. Not true at all. You have a beautiful breadth of emotion. You have a beautiful ability to feel nuance and to have been through the things you've been through. But like the completion of that cycle is in truly having power over that rather than letting it lead your life. Okay. Cries of the Soul's Oracle. I want to go into this because this is my shadow oracle here. Helps me to really see, especially with Pisces 12th house energy, helps me to really see what's going on in the more uncomfortable places we don't want to look. So what's going on for this collective, Spirit? Like what's the main energy that's kind of blocking them here? What's the belief? They're having a hard time coming out. I feel like this is part of it. Manipulation and limiting beliefs. Okay. And on the bottom of the deck, unbalanced ego. So interesting. Both of these cards have that mirroring energy I was talking about going on. That like duality, the Pisces fish kind of thing. See like the hands kind of in that like mirrored circle, these fox-like creatures in their mirror facing each other. What that gives me is a major need for integration of the shadow, big time. Like a need to sort of, whoa, I just got the image of like, it's kind of like a horrifying image and for some people, but like, I don't know if I've seen this in a show or in a book, but like doppelganger energy, you know, like those mystical tales of somebody coming across someone in, or it's like their mirror self that they see in the mirror. I think there's an Edgar Allan Poe story about this, but like someone you see in the mirror, or your mirror self being like this other side of you that like takes over or that can take control of you. And I feel that's that's definitely what this is here. It's like your shadow, which is a mirror of us, right? The shadow is part of us. But we often, from the conscious light of our mind, we look at the shadow like it's not us, like it's something else, like it's something to be gotten rid of, or it's bad, or it's just all the parts of us that have been shamed, guilted, blamed by our parents, by society, that we shove away. And so we disown it. We think that's not me. And then when we see it in other people, we react, we're triggered by it, or we project our own shadow onto other people. Because the shadow's not all bad things. It's not just like the bad things that society considers bad. It's also the things that other people considered threatening in us as well. So it could be our own power that's in our shadow. It could be our own ability to like take charge, right? that we project onto other people, as in like we need other people's permission to take charge of our lives or to have power. We substitute our own personal power, our own personal treasures that live in the shadow with like needing to gain that from other people. So that's just one way it can manifest, or a couple ways it can manifest. But like manipulation, limiting beliefs, and unbalanced ego here. I feel like one of the most difficult things for this collective is like a sort of like self-manipulation. Like maybe like manipulating yourself into thinking things that aren't true, or like manipulating reality a little bit to sort of like fit a narrative that you keep telling yourself about life. Like for example, I'll use just victim mentality as an example because it's a pretty prominent one in society in general. Like if you've been victimized by things in life, if things have happened to you in life that are really difficult, you know, those moments, we truly have been victimized by something. We truly have had something happen to us that causes us to be in a position where we are a victim. However, the victim mentality psychologically comes from perpetually now believing that, oh, that's just what happens to me. Like, I'm just a victim and things just happen to me all the time. And then every single thing that happens to us in our life, or every single time something doesn't go our way, we immediately attribute it to like, oh, something was done to us, rather than looking at the full picture that maybe you had a part to play, or maybe there's also an aspect of this that is like spirit trying to show you something to empower yourself, rather than to just continually just think, oh, I'm a victim of life. And so we can then maybe manipulate things that happen in life as, oh, that happens to me, or oh, that person did that to me, or oh, like maybe somebody said something to you that was genuinely like they were genuinely trying to help you, but you took it as like an attack kind of thing. Or maybe somebody said something to you that if you were in an empowered state of being, you'd be able to just easily brush off, but because of being in such a like perpetual victim state, it's like you immediately take that to heart and then feel like all types of emotions over it, and it like ruins your whole day kind of thing. Like this is the difference between that sort of empowered mindset and the victim mindset. It's like an empowered mentality is with truly seeing reality for what it is without manipulating it for ourselves, or without trying to manipulate a narrative, or without allowing others to manipulate us as well. An empowered mentality would just be, I get to choose. I choose how I see this. I can't control all of life around me, absolutely not, but I control my reactions, I control my response, and I control what I am seeing and how conscious I'm being, and like what's being processed versus what's being shoved away. Like we get to decide these things, even when it feels like we don't. And someone who's empowered really takes a look at their limiting beliefs and challenges those limiting beliefs. Like, why do I let that thought, or why do I let that thing in life dictate what I'm doing? Why do I let that dictate who I am? Really just having that, like, it can be uncomfortable. It can be really uncomfortable to take a hard look at yourself. But when you take a hard look at yourself and are really honest with yourself in humility, the only thing that can come from that is self-empowerment and a sense of self-esteem and a true sense of growth. And I can tell you from myself, spending years in like a victimhood mentality, spending years in that like very, it's a very water sign kind of energy, a very emotionally turbulent place where, yeah, like I was giving my power up to groups of people and to fate, and to like why is this happening to me? Why? Well, the reason it was happening to me, to be really blunt, was because I was deciding to let it happen to me in a lot of ways. I was just deciding not to change anything. I decided I wanted somebody else to come in and save me, and I decided I wanted things to just shift magically without doing the work. The inner work and like the self-challenging and the self-evaluation, and to stop manipulating myself, and to stop manipulating myself into thinking things were a certain way that they really weren't, or to stop, there are all these psychological loopholes and cognitive dissonance and biases we put ourselves through. Unbalanced ego, right? Like, we sometimes like attack the outer world, not realizing, well, a lot of times the outer world is actually just a reflection of something going on within ourselves. The outer world is always a teacher and always a lesson. And if we get still enough and clear enough, and if we get prudent enough and humble enough as well to just take a minute and look at, okay, why does this situation keep happening to me over and over again? Why do I keep responding or reacting to that certain trigger that way? Like, what is it about that? And it's not going to change overnight. It won't. But starting to question that, rather than like, because it can feel so good to our ego and our pain body, right? To just slip into like bitterness and I'm just forgotten. I don't belong. I can't move forward. All of my gifts and my talents are just gonna go down the drain and my dreams are over, kind of thing. Well, that's not true. It's really not. It can feel that way. It feels really real. But spirit wants you to play like that devil's advocate with yourself a little bit. Like, okay, let's play devil's advocate here a little bit. Like, is this really true? Is that true? Why is that true? Like kind of being like this is also Saturn in Pisces too. Like, we have a Saturn retrograde hitting here in Pisces, where Saturn, the tough teacher, the karmic lord of the zodiac and the astrology, kind of coming in and being like, let's get real here. Let's get real about, and in Pisces water, when Saturn's moving through Pisces waters, let's get real about how you've been deluding yourself, how you've been manipulating yourself with like emotional storytelling, or with like, just this, deep helplessness in a lot of ways is what I'm getting that some of us might have. And I think this is in all of us to an extent, by the way. Like, this isn't to shame or guilt you whatsoever. I feel like I'm really channeling Saturn right now, and I feel like it's coming out in a way that feels very tough, but like, I feel like it needs to be, because that's what Saturn's here for. That's part of life, is having, sometimes like that tough lesson to snap us out of, like, because again, spirit wants us to move forward. Spirit wants us to be living our best life. Spirit wants us to be living a whole, integrated, beautiful life. But part of like becoming empowered, and part of being able to do that and to have autonomy, is that we have to be willing to not only find power in like, not only finding power in spirit coming in and helping us and doing things for us and trusting in a higher power. That's all beautiful, and that's all very Pisces as well. But part of the illusion there too is like, it's not all just about leaving it up to a higher power either. It's half and half. It's meeting the universe halfway. And I fell for this trap for a long time too, where like, you fall into the spiritual trap of thinking that if you just think hard enough, and if you just believe hard enough, and if you just, feel hard enough, that things will magically appear for you or work out for you. And like, I think that can happen, but it has to be like working in tandem with action. Like, we have to be showing up and doing the sometimes uncomfortable work of like facing ourselves and going for what it is that we are truly wanting, and taking like the risk of feeling the action through our bodies, of doing it and just going for it and doing it. Moving through the emotions, like rising above the heavier stories. And we couldn't have a feeling of strength and self-empowerment if we didn't have stories that we needed to overcome, that we really needed to pull ourselves into. And in the end, like I said, this is all for the greater good. This is all for the greater expansion of you. it's kind of like, it really does. It gives me the feeling of pulling up out of the sacral chakra, out of like emotionally turbulent sort of like confirmation birth instability up into the solar plexus, which is where we start to like structure things. The solar plexus is where we start to really structure, and the fire comes in where it's like, okay, let's rise above some of this emotional storytelling and some of the emotions that we're feeling, the turbulent, more intense, kind of getting out of hand emotions, and we can start to now refine and transform through the fire of purification, purifying some of those emotions, like what is not serving us, so that we can feel like the sacral chakra at its highest. It's like, it's joy, it's like truth, it's authenticity, it's a feeling of merging and oneness with the beauty of life. But it sometimes takes fire and a wrangling of forces to get there. Okay, I feel like this is big energy. I feel like that's that for that part of the shadow, the tough love part. Saturn really came in there. But yeah, I feel that for sure. So let's go to, where do we want to go next here? I feel like maybe medicine, some kind of like medicine for this. So herbal astrology. I haven't pulled this one out in a collective in a while. Herbal astrology. Since we're talking about astrology here, Spirit, I ask that the medicine, something to be able to help this collective move forward, because I also I have a compassion and understanding here as well for this feeling. Like when you're in these emotions, I get it. Like it really feels so real. It feels like you can't move. It feels like you can't do anything. It does feel like you're helpless. You feel stuck, but it's just remembering like that's your ego, and your ego likes to stay stuck because it gives your ego an identity. It gives your ego something to hold on to. It gives your ego like a reason to exist and to grow and to continue stagnating. But it's like self-destructive. It's self-sabotaging when it goes too far. And like, okay, Comfrey, completion here. And Milk Thistle, Peaceful Warrior, reverse. Kind of want to read what this Milk Thistle reverse represents in this deck. Aggressiveness, harsh, impulsive, competitive, self-sabotage, overdoing it, gossip, ruled by Mars and the Moon. Okay, yeah. So Comfrey here with completion, it's like there's a real need to like end this cycle or put to rest this cycle of those emotions I was just talking about, that bitterness, that vengeance, that like feeling of not belonging, that feeling of like aggression, or like self-sabotage, this cycle of constantly going back to like old emotions, old storylines, old slights that have been brought against us, right? Like, I get it, I really do. And I've been challenged with this myself, even recently. Like, this is what's coming up too for me in a lot of ways with this Pisces eclipse. Like, really, like, empowering yourself. Like, use this spiritual warrior energy, because that's what this is here. Peaceful warrior, spiritual warrior. Like, use the power of your mind and of your thoughts to wrangle yourself away from that. Stop feeding it, because once you stop feeding that loop, once you stop feeding that incessant chatter of the old story, or that like it's like an addiction in a lot of ways, like the pain body. Eckhart Tolle talks about this. Eckhart Tolle is such a great teacher. He talks in The Power of Now about the pain body and how it wants food. Like, it'll go dormant for times, but it really wants to latch on to these charged emotional stories that have negative emotion and low vibrational energy to them. Like, it wants to, when it gets hungry, it needs another drama. It needs another emotional eruption to hold on to and to feed itself and to continue surviving. But when you starve the pain body, when you continually have the willpower and the strength at the solar plexus, right above the sacral, to say, no more, I'm not feeding you anymore. I'm going to feed my energy and focus and attention and thoughts into love, into peace, into harmony, into empowerment, right? Into like radiance, confidence, joy, wisdom, even like more neutral things, like being able to see things with equanimity rather than like always falling into this negative charge. Negative emotions are not bad. Negative emotions are part of life. They're data, but that's all they're meant to be, is data. They're not meant to become an identity, and they're not meant to become something that we like look to or are looking for. And if you find yourself looking for like negative things in your life, or you find yourself scanning for negative situations, then that's a sign. Or even like readings, right? Like even readings that pop up on your feed that are all emotionally charged or dramatic, and like, you know, some of them are necessary, right? Like for us to know what's going on. But then it's like, if you find yourself just falling into that rabbit hole of just constantly like watching or trying to find more like readings or information or messages to feed like that imbalance of the negative charge, that's a sign that it's like maybe there's a need to really complete the cycle, like cut it off kind of thing. Like, all right, that's enough kind of thing. Spirit's saying like, that's enough of that cycle. Let's move into something that's more creative, more nourishing, because nothing can really be created in that state. Like when we're in that state of constantly the emotional center, right? Like our emotions are there for us to create with and to be creative with. They're meant to be inspiration and to help us. Emotions, energy in motion, right? Emotion. They're meant to be exactly that, like energies that are in motion that create something. But if they're just kind of out of control, or if they're constantly in this volatile state, then they don't create, they end up just destroying. It's like, think of your emotions sort of like the state of like the ocean or like a body of water. Is it clear? Is it serene? Are there like, you know, playful ripples and playful waves? Or is it just constantly like a hurricane battleground, right? Is it constantly dried up? Like just think of your emotions like water. What does it feel like when you immediately right now, even in this moment, I want you to do this right now, visualize what your emotions look like as water, as a body of water. And what does it look like to you? That can really help you to know where to go, or like what's needed here to be the medicine for this. So yeah, that's definitely a confirmation then. Let's go to divine abundance here. I feel like this message is coming to a close. So let's get some divine abundance here to know like what is working here, what's working for you guys, and what is the feeling that can be nourished or nurtured to allow for greater sweetness and beauty and nectar in this collective's life. Because I feel like, yeah, you've been through a lot, and it's self-punishment, right? Like it's and I think the reason I'm being so intense here with you guys and really having this conviction is because I care about you, and I care about you having like the life that you deserve, because you deserve to feel good. You deserve to be in your creative flow. You deserve to have your potential and these forgotten dreams that you perceive, and like this bitterness and these slight, like you deserve to be able to overcome all of that and move forward in your life, and to be the painter, to be creative, to be productive. It's the best feeling in the world. And I want you to know that this is like, it's for you. This is not for anyone else. Like changing this narrative and changing this story, it should not feel like you're obligated to do it because someone's telling you to do it, because I'm telling you to do it. I'm not telling you to do it, but it should be because you feel like you want to do this to better yourself, because you want to move forward. And if you've been stuck for a long time, like just being honest with yourself and knowing why it's happening, that this is that Saturn, like self-love, tough love, you know? This is how you move out of it. So, Spirit, if this collective feels they're ready and this is what they want, what can they focus on to help them move out of emotional turmoil, difficulty, and just get out of this cycle of feeling like they're being dragged by their emotions, or that their emotions are overwhelming them, or that they're feeling just like they're ready to move into calmer waters or into just the next phase of their life. Can you focus on here? So this is interesting. It's taking a minute for these cards to shuffle. This might be representative of what is needed. Maybe it's that, yeah, you need to spend some time possibly just shuffling through, right? Like spending some time sitting with this so that it can emerge. Like what is sweet and what is beautiful and what can lead you into finding belonging, a sense of belonging, into finding a sense of harmony, into finding a sense of creativity. All right, Spirit, come through, come through. I can definitely feel some resistance in my body and in my energy field to this. Like some people are feeling resistance to this message, but I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you the life you deserve, a life that you love. Come on now, Spirit. What wants to come through? When it's hiding a little bit. Sanctity. Through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. And on the bottom of the deck here, inner child, allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. This is where the beautiful, tender part comes through here. So, on the other side of the toughness, on the other side of the tough ego that doesn't want to give up, there's this inner child that really, really wants compassion and love, and maybe an angry inner child, a forgotten inner child, an inner child that feels it has not been seen or given to, or that it's getting what it deserves or needs to be nourished in life. Look at this image. Curled up, hiding away, protecting itself. I feel like that's all what this is a manifestation of. You know, holding on to these emotions, holding on to these shadows, holding on to all of this. It's subconscious, but it's like, it's a protection. It's a protection of deep pain. Through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. It really is just about allowing yourself to be offered. Offer these heavier emotions up to Spirit, up to the divine, to be sacrificed and made sacred as a sacrament. Even the most mundane, the smallest problem, the smallest thing can become sacred and can become something that is given, because the divine in its great love and its heart, right? There's nothing that the divine sees that it can't handle. There's nothing going on in your life. There's nothing that's happening, even the worst of the worst that you see happening in this world. There's nothing that can't be offered to the divine to be transmuted, that can't be offered to the divine to become one with love and to become one with wholeness. And I feel that on a micro level, in our lives, this is what can be done. There's nothing too big, nothing too small going on in our lives that can't be offered up to Spirit, that they can transmute and love, and that they can help you with, and that they can help you to overcome. Because really you're an inner child. You're a child of the divine. And that child, by his or her nature, by their nature, that child is always offering up to the divine in every moment. That child offers their essence, their being to the divine naturally in every moment. It's only our ego, it's only the pains and the trials of life that cause us to close off and that cause us to hold on. But by offering pain, sorrow, difficulty, all those things, right, that we were just talking about, all the loss, all the heaviness, by offering it to the divine, we are able to take that load off ourselves, and it feels so much better to step out of the trance of that pain body and realize that was never really us in the first place. Those stories, all those things that happened to us, that was never us. It only became us because somehow it trapped us and we allowed it to become us, even if just subconsciously. And we have to have compassion for ourselves for that too, because we never had the tools. We never knew better. But this is part of the journey, is recognizing this. And by recognizing this and coming out of this, this will also become your offering to offer to others, to the world. This trial, this tribulation you've been through, this whole cycle. You might not see it now, but it will become the offering you get to give. You'll be able to teach. You'll be able to help people who are going through a similar time. And it raises the vibration of the planet. It raises the consciousness of everything. So offer what you can, even in this moment today. I really want to take a moment here at the end of this reading, like, take a breath. And really think in this moment, what heaviness, what problem that's weighing on you. In this moment, can you offer? What can you offer to the divine? What can you say? Help me here. I'm ready to give this up. I'm ready to change it. And that'll lead you forward. So this is your reading. I hope this helps you, my beautiful, beautiful collective. I feel really passionate about this one. I feel like this one was really, really meant to come through today for some specific reason. And yeah, I really care. I really care about this, and I feel like the divine does too. So just remember that there are people who really care about you and really want to see you thriving and doing so well in your life, in your uniqueness, in your beauty, and you have so much to offer and so much to give. Yeah, I feel like it's allowing yourself to know you don't have to go through this, and keep creating this. You get to be empowered and you get to be in control of your life. So that's that. I love you very much. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.